Hello and welcome back to the Internet of Retail. My name's Doug Drinkwater. I'm the editor of Internet of Business. Delighted to be joined by Brett from Kroger, the VP of R&D at Kroger. Brett, really good to see you. How are you doing today?
Doing good.
Fantastic.
Having a great conference.
Talk us through some of your IoT initiatives. You were talking earlier about you've got a number of pure IoT initiatives and some which kind of have an element of IoT. Talk through, if you can, what made you go down this journey and what benefits you've seen at this early point.
Well, the benefits are numerous, and when it came to implementing powerful IoT solutions, I was just excited that our executives chose the first IoT solution. We call it FAST, Food at Safe Temperature. And it's cold case temperature monitoring, 200 to 400 tags per store, the associated access points. And that was all about good, fresh, safe food for our shoppers. And it's really exciting to work for a company who always places the health, safety, and welfare of its shoppers first. There's lots of ways to make the company more efficient with IoT, but it's great to have that care for our shopper.
Absolutely. And you've subsequently gone on to do a few other things with IoT, I believe. Talk through what you've been doing with that and why. What's the benefit you're seeing at this point?
That's a great question about the other things. In some ways, it's the same thing because once you put these foundational technologies in, it's pretty easy for us to provide employees handhelds to make their job more successful, not just at the end of the week, not just at the end of the day, but at the end of every task they do. We put handhelds in our shoppers' hands, and we're doing a 15-store test right now of shoppers using IoT handhelds to make their shopping more efficient, lets them know a running balance, and finally speeds them right through checkout. So, there are benefits all around with great IoT technology that Kroger's developed.
And you guys seem to have really embraced IoT quite early, at least compared to a number of other companies in the retail space. What made you kind of go down this path, be an early adopter really of these technologies?
I have to say that our leadership, again, I work for Chris Jelm. He's a pretty famous CIO, won a number of awards, including a Fisher Hopper Lifetime Achievement Award. So when you get the opportunity to paint through scenarios with Chris and the executives he worked with, these guys see value very quickly in places that maybe I wouldn't see it. So we've had great executive sponsorship day one. And the first thing we did was learn everything about it. And I joined the Zigbee Board of Directors, the Zigbee Alliance. Quickly, a member of the R&D team, John Osborne, became vice treasurer, vice chairman, and now he's serving as chairman for IoT, or the Zigbee Alliance, which in my mind I think is the IoT. So when you compare that kind of commitment for the time that we've been doing it, where we are today is not that surprising. It's actually the progress that I think our shareholders should expect.
And I wanted to ask you about Zigbee. There's obviously a number of different options emerging, from Zigbee to Bluetooth to cellular as well. Why have you done the path of Zigbee? What are the benefits do you see? And what do you make of the other options out there at the moment? There's been a lot of talk about LoRa and these kind of emerging communication protocols. What's your kind of take on that?
I think most of the emerging standards can be met by a combination of Zigbee, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. I don't really see the need to go past that. The sole exception probably is LoRa. And an interesting thing about LoRa, my daughter-in-law is affiliated with LoRa, so I know a bit about it. I should know more, but low power, long range, that's a great niche for drilling fields, locating equipment where you don't have necessarily a mesh type infrastructure that Zigbee's designed to meet. Zigbee, we don't measure battery life in weeks and months, we measure it in years. And in the case of one of our tags, we think it'll last a decade. So it's pretty amazing.
And so what do you think we're going to see in IoT going forwards? I was really interested in your point on culture there and having the executives on board, because it seems like across a number of verticals that's an issue for some companies. In your opinion, what are we going to see going forward with IoT? What challenges need to be overcome before it becomes mainstream adoption?
Well, I've got to say that in terms of challenges, I have a number of peers at Kroger Technology, and Kroger Technology is really good about helping us overcome any kind of IoT limitations, otherwise scaling it, installing it, etc. So I think every company is going to have to not just convince their R&D and innovation groups to use IoT and explore it, but then you've got a lot of struggle that we did not have because, again, our Kroger Technologies groups lean in to make projects successful. I think they're going to have a tough time with that. Now, that said, innovation is something that Kroger does at its core. Long time ago, we were the very first supermarkets to have things like bakeries inside, and more recently, we played a key role in the development of Wi-Fi, the development of self-checkout. Innovation's at the core of Kroger, and so I think that it's pretty easy for us to do these things.
Brett, really appreciate your time, and thanks for being here today, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.